Hey, my enchanted peeps. Today I am going to talk about something that has been kind of going around the videos in the witchy pagan community, which is the subject of curses and hexes. There's differing opinions about this, and I saw a few videos that a lot of them were very thoughtfully kind of put together, and there are differences of opinion. I did see one where the person had come from another pagan related background, another witchcraft background other than Wicca, in which hexes and curses are considered okay to do. And I've heard from the other side as well, people who say they're not okay to do. So what is the difference between a curse and a hex? And I heard someone explain it really well. A hex is kind of like a one-shot, small kind of deal where you have one little thing kind of happen to the person and that's it, and then it's done. And a curse is more long-term. It means that negative things will continue to happen to this person. So a curse is more like a long-term sort of jail sentence, whereas a hex is like, you pay your fine and then you're done with it. So there are some people who believe that it is okay to do that kind of thing. And then there's people who say, no, it's not okay to do that kind of thing. And some people say, oh, you're not a witch unless you can, what's the saying? It's something like, you can't heal unless you can harm. And then there's others that say, no, you should not be doing this. And particularly in Wicca, there's rules against those kind of things. So, I'm just giving you my opinion of where I'm coming from and what my opinion is. I'm not saying that this is what you have to think. I think that you should, hear other people's opinions and read people's opinions and make up your own mind about things. And that's one thing I really love about witchcraft and Wicca is that it's not spoon-fed to you about what's right and wrong. You have to make up your own mind. Now, I personally do believe in the read, to harm none, do what you will, and that things come back to you threefold. And this may not be a literal thing. If I steal something, 3 things of mine aren't going to be stolen. But when you put out negativity in the world, that's what you're going to get back. And that's what I believe. And that's why I personally do not believe in hexes and curses. I'm personally not comfortable with them. Now, I want to clarify that it is okay to protect yourself, in my opinion. And protecting yourself means, casting spells for protection, obviously, and also for binding. And binding is different than hexing and cursing. Binding means that you are stopping someone from doing something negative or from doing something that is going to harm you. And so that is a protective thing that you're doing. You're putting the fence up and saying, no, I don't want this in my life, as opposed to shooting them with a gun. That's just my metaphor for it. Also, I agree with, I saw 4 Queens video about this, and I really agree with her about, it's about vengeance when you're doing curses and hexes. You saw the thing's already been done, and you are taking the anger and hurt that you feel and sending it back towards that person in order to harm them. And that's about revenge. And vengeance really only hurts you. There's the old saying about, vengeance is like taking poison and hoping the other person will die. It's certainly understandable that, when we're hurt, and I've been, just like anybody else in the world, been hurt and betrayed by people, and sometimes in very serious manners. But when somebody does something like that to you, they in a way have already cursed themselves. If somebody does something that is that horrible to other people, they are in a bad place already. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't protect yourself, because you should. I see nothing wrong with binding someone from harming you further. I see nothing wrong from casting protection spells to make sure that negativity doesn't come your way. I also see nothing wrong with things like you can do spells to, for instance, if somebody is gossiping and spreading lies about you, you can do spells. You can do things like I was saying, sorry, technical error there. You sew the mouth shut, and in this way you're stopping the gossip. There's nothing wrong with that. You're stopping someone from doing something, and that's okay. You're not wishing them harm. You're not saying, I want, their house to burn down and then be hit by a truck. And I'm using extreme examples here, but that's intending harm towards someone as opposed to stopping harm come from you. So there's a very fine line there. And so when you're considering this kind of thing, you really need to sit down and think about what you're doing and what the repercussions may be. The other side to it too is that I've had some times where people have said, okay, you know, somebody's spreading, for example, rumors about me, and I'm pretty sure it's this person, and they consider, you know, cursing them in some way or hexing them in some way, and it's like, maybe that's the wrong person. You don't know that unless you've seen it yourself, or you know for sure that that person has done that to you. You may be directing negative energy at the wrong person, and you can't see, you're not a god, you can't see all the repercussions of things, which is also why it's important to, you know, if something, let's say somebody was spreading rumors about you, you were pretty sure who it was, but you weren't entirely sure who it was. You might do a protection or binding spell to have the truth be revealed, or to protect yourself against the gossip or stop the gossip without naming specifically the person. And that way, if it is the person, it's going to stop. But if it's not the person, it's not going to affect them, because you may not know, and you might be directing it at the wrong person, like I said, which is, you know, definitely bad karma. And so I do, you know, kind of side towards, you know, definitely side towards the side where it's like, no, I believe hexes and curses are wrong and that they'll come back to you. This doesn't mean that I think if somebody's done that, they are a bad person. They have to make their own decisions about what they feel is right and wrong for them. And I don't know what their situation is either. So I'm not going to judge that person, but I'm just saying for me, not personally comfortable with that. I'm, like I said, okay with protecting and binding so that things stop, and for doing things like, you know, having the truth be revealed or things like that, but not intending actual harm towards a person. And I, you know, I believe in karma, in that if you're doing bad things, that's going to come back to you. And I've seen it over and over again in my life where somebody is, you know, they're manipulative, or they betray people, or they lie, and it comes out and it gets back to them, and you know, it blows up often in their face at some point. So I kind of believe that, you know, if you're doing shit, you're kind of already cursing yourself. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. I also agree with the Four Queens in that you should use the energy that you feel when things like this happen to do something positive, either to work on healing for the person that's been harmed, whether it's yourself or another person, or to use that energy to protect yourself. Do something positive with it, as opposed to something negative with it. So that's my opinion. I want to hear what your opinion is. Please put in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.